Hello and welcome to another episode of Bum with a Wrench. I'm your host Daniel, and on today's episode we are going to finish up my 1965 Galaxie Hardtop in preparation for the power tour. As explained multiple times now, I got crazy with the filming. Filmed a lot of film. That last bit right there was like over 2 hours of film between official sign-on, sign-offs kind of thing. The reason I've got you here is because everything on that side is pertaining to a crazy mess and the car. So I don't want to really show you that right now because, you know, this is the final episode. You find out if I actually make it or not. Do you think I make it? Yeah, maybe that guy over there thinks I make it. Hey, thanks. Yeah. Wow. You know, it's after the power tour. It's actually Tuesday now after the power tour. Editing this and trying to figure out how to edit this has been a bear. I spent all day Monday trying to organize the film and get everything set in place. And then I pushed one video out Monday. I've pushed 2 out today already, and this will be the third I'm trying to sneak in right before I go home. It's pretty late. It's a little after 5 now. I try and get home by 6, see my son. So without further ado, let's get into this last episode and see if I finally make it and get the car done and make it to the power tour. All right, guys. It is midnight. Starting to go crazy. This hoist always does that. When it's up off the locks, it cluck, cluck, cluck. So usually I lower it down on the locks, but yeah. So I serviced the transmission. I changed the tail shaft seal. Transmission's not long for the world. Had a little bit of gray matter in the bottom, some clutch debris, a few fine sandy kind of chunkies. Yeah, it's not long for the world. So if it makes it through the power tour, I'll be happy. But I'm gonna have to start hunting for a good C6. Here, let me, I don't think I really ever showed you guys the brake lines after I finished. So there's the brake lines after I finished. You can see they come down off the master, swoop back just like I said they were going to. And then that one in the back right there kind of dips down right next to the power steering. That's where I could figure it needed to go. Otherwise it would have had to go back and loop around and then come in like around and then back up, and it would have made some funky weird. So that's what that did. It's not bad. I think it turned out pretty good. So all the lines are done. In fact, I don't know if I showed you this, but these 2 pieces are all that's left. That's it. That's all that's left of the stainless steel brake lines. And I bought 2 complete sets from Summit. It comes with 2 different sizes, 3/16 and I don't know, whatever the other size is. I think the other side it sizes so that you can run fuel, but honestly that's too small for fuel. I did order a roll of 3/8 because the 7-liter needs a return. So I'll probably have to order some more 3/8 too, because whenever this goes big motor, it's going to need more fuel. That one actually has 3/8 on it, which is overkill for that motor. But anyways, I'm getting off track. It's late. So yeah, that's changed. That thing was hard as a rock. Where is that stupid thing? Oh, here it is. Hard as a rock. This is supposed to be squishy. and it's just not even. The seal on the inside is completely dead. It's got no lip to it at all. This thing just does not squish. So yeah, that's dead. Oh, overheating. That was kind of exciting, huh? Fix the fan. The fan wasn't coming on because for some retarded reason, I decided to put the main power that goes up to the fuse on a spade connector so you could plug and unplug it in the harness. For what reason? I don't know. So at some point, me moving the harness around, probably doing the battery tray, it must have popped undone, had no power. You could hear the little solenoid clicking for the fan to turn on, but it didn't turn on. So fixed the power, now it works great. Okay, so the overheating. Sorry, remember it's really late, and this is my second night of doing this, and I'm gonna probably have 3 nights of doing this. So this is the thermostat that was in it. I liked it because it's got a big flow. However, when this opens, this back part pulls away. So the water actually has to come around this and then go out. It does have these vent holes here in the back. And I don't think I did test this, and it does open. At 160 it opens. This is the new one that I'm putting in. This is Edelbrock. It's got a nice big, gigantic opening. This is the one that's actually going back in it. And it's got the little bleeder at the top. So this is opening. It would be in the car except for all the stuff that I have. I don't have an extra gasket. So all I can figure on the overheating is that it got cavitation from that heater hose. Because I have a shutoff for the heater hose, a manual shutoff, and I had it shut in the off position. I have that upper heater hose on a 45. Now it doesn't go above the radiator. That's how you create a cavitation. If you dip above everything else, then it'll cavitate up there, water won't move. But I'm thinking because I had the flow shut off in the one direction, that it was actually creating a cavitation in the heater core. I think that combined with this bad design, I think caused the overheating. I can't really think of anything else that would have caused it. Everything else seems fine. Nothing's wrong with anything else. Everything else is great. It didn't overheat before. I know the thermostat opened, and you saw it. The coolant was all the way up, never dipped down. When the thermostat opens, it'll empty that whole bin. It didn't do any of that. So definitely had some cavitation. I don't think I popped a head gasket or did anything like that. These cast iron blocks and heads and stuff, they can take some abuse before you really pop anything. That and everything in here is brand new. So I'm thinking just a bad design on the thermostat and cavitation, I think, is what caused that overheat. So because it overheated, tomorrow when I put it back together, it's going to get water. And then if it doesn't overheat with water, I'll probably leave it and I'll put some water wetter in it. Because technically on the racetrack, you're not supposed to run coolant, you're supposed to run water. So whatever coolant's still in it, I'll leave it in it. But I'll fill it with water, and then I'll put some water wetter in there. Water wetter is great. It actually makes the water wetter. It helps the water to adhere to the cylinder walls and to all of the pieces to help draw that heat out. So if you're having a hot problem with your car where it's maybe not overheating, but it's just getting a little hotter than you'd like, try some water wetter. They love using it in diesels because it actually helps the water adhere to the cylinder walls. So when when diesels fire, there's thousands of little explosions, and so the cylinder walls are constantly in a vibrated state. And what it does is it just does like putting a drop of water into a hot skillet. It dances on those cylinder walls. Use some water wetter, and it helps that water to adhere to the cylinder walls to draw that heat away. I've used it for years, and use it in race cars all the time. If you're going to run straight water, throw a bottle or two of water wetter in there, and it'll help with that. Now, it won't do anything for freezing, so if it's going to get cold, maybe don't put some coolant in it. But if you're just going to run on the racetrack, you got to just run water for whatever reason. Throw some water wetter in there. Stuff's great. So, not sponsored by them. I just use them all the time. So, not sponsored by anybody. Looking for sponsors. So if you want to sponsor, hey, I'm here. A bum needs sponsors. So I am really tired. I'm gonna go home, take a shower, sleep, wake up, take my son to school, because apparently that's the only time I see him now is when I take him to school. And then I got one day. I got one day left. Tomorrow, this car's got to go. Everything else is done except for the pinion seal. I know the pinion's weeping, but honestly, I just don't have the time. I can't get to it. So if tech tells me nope due to a leaky pinion, then them's the bricks. So nothing I can do on that. But the rest of the car is ready. Brakes are bled. It feels like it's got a pretty good pedal. I might run it up the street tomorrow, and if the pedal still feels a little bit off, I can bring it back and bleed it again. I'm just using a vacuum bleeder. They usually work pretty good. So yeah, other than that, once it doesn't overheat and everything's good, I need to get it on its wheels, get it outside, wash the engine bay down, get all that coolant out of there, and then dry it off, bring it back in, and rebuild the front end. So it's not too hard to put fenders and a hood and grill and bumper, and I'm going to scrub down the side of the car. Tomorrow I was planning on driving it for a couple hours and shaking it down. I'll try and do that. Maybe I'll bring you guys along for that, put a GoPro in the window or something. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'll be lucky, happy if I just make it to the racetrack Friday morning. So, oh, I still have a Panhard bar. So, the Panhard bar in this car is bent. Let's see. Got a whoop in it right there. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a pretty good whoop in it. So I bought a Panhard bar for it. One of the reasons I was thinking this car had a wobbly axle is because I think when it got hit, it slid into a curb or something, and it pushed the axle over. Now the great part about these 3-links is that if the axle moves, the 3-link's just like it's going up and down, it'll go to the side. It's got bushings. But the one part that's gonna have a problem with that is the part that tries to keep the axle in the center of the car. And so this was actually bent. The guy I got the car from, he heated it up and bent it back straight the best he could. So it's not bad. I could leave it, but I mean, it's a Panhard bar. You measure center point to center point. It's already had an alignment, so measure center point to center point, thread the adjusters out. It's a Hotchkiss adjustable Panhard. So I should be able to slap that in pretty quick. If I can't get to that, believe me, that's going to be one of the last things tomorrow. Like, if it's all stickered up and clean and ready to go, then maybe I'll throw it on the hoist and bang that out, very last thing, because the one that's in there works. Honestly, it works just fine. So might just leave it. We'll see how it goes. So this thing's got a lot of just surface rust. That's all it is. It's like the car just wants to be that just golden brown. I don't know. It makes me want to tear it apart and sandblast everything and paint it, but I don't think I could do that in a day. So anyways, all right, guys. I will see you bright and early in the morning. I'm not sure how. I know I've got a lot of time on this episode. The one prior to this too, I think is going to be very long. But you know, it's me babbling, still babbling. But that's the way it goes when you're getting ready for an event like this. Hopefully next year for duct tape drags, for power tour, for all the rest of them, I have a car just lined up ready to go because I don't want to do this again. I'm getting too old to do these super late nights. I don't want to do this anymore. So, but I am making it. There was a couple times today where I wanted to just throw in the towel. I'm gonna be honest, but you can't do that. You know, I do this for you guys. I do this for me too because it's a lot of fun. I do this for my car because I love the car, but I keep pushing on because I know, you know, when I watch some of these other YouTube channels and stuff and you see them, they're going to go do something and they get there and then it doesn't work out. So they're just, I mean, they try, but you know, sometimes it doesn't work out. That's just the way it goes. I understand that. But when you get to the end and they didn't achieve that goal that you thought they were going to, you're like, oh man, you know, I watched this whole thing to see that happen and it just never happened. I'm not gonna let you guys down. This car will be there. Transmission may blow up on the way, but nothing I can do about that, you know. It's gonna go. It'll be there. So I appreciate all of you. I'm doing this for you guys, for me, for my kids, for, you know, for everything. So tired, really tired. All right, guys, I will see you bright and early in the morning. All right, guys, we got no time to waste today. Okay. I think, there you are. Hey, I think, boop. I think we're ready. Give me a second. Let me go change your battery because you're running low. So I'm going to pause you for a second and change the battery so that way you can see this thing geyser. All right, I'm back. Okay. Guys ready? Yep, I went ahead and changed the camera because the old break time over there was getting a little warm. So I didn't want it to cut out on you as right before the big show happens. So, all right. I think we're good. Let me fire this thing up, see what happens. So, oh, that's good. The key was in the on position all night, so, you know, that's always good. I got nothing. The key was in the on position all night. Luckily, I have the coil set up on a switch, so it wasn't melting my coil to the ground. At least I don't think. Oh, coil seems cool. Of course, the battery is probably dead, but let's see. See what we got for the voltages. Come on. And what? 12. 12.45. Why are you not starting? Why are you wave? Oh, I know why. Okay, so yeah. When you go to start your car, you know, maybe put it in park. Okay. Round 2. Boop, 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 boop. Park. And turn that on, a little fuel. I think that was on, maybe that's on. Yep. Well, that transmission service didn't make the noise go away. So, I know that transmission's not doing very good. If I replace that transmission and that noise is still there, I guess this motor just whistles. Running a little chunky, not bad. I got some new spark plugs for it, but so after I do this, then I'll clean it and then let it cool down, read the plugs, gap them, change them. So keep it idle. I got to turn the idle up on this thing. I forgot to do that. $550 is a little bit low. I wonder if I can reach it now. No. Oh, maybe a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Seems a little high now, but that's okay. That should work for what we need it to do. So we should have electric fan now. We should have hopefully the right amount of coolant flow. Let me just try and burp some air out of this. If you don't know, you know, just lightly squeeze that upper radiator hose. It helps to promote that bubbles moving. You know, it's got that little bleed on the top of the thermostat, like a little check ball that goes back and forth. So you can bleed off a little bit of that coolant. It's splashing up just because I'm quickly squeezing, like doing on the hose. Okay, now we just wait. The fan should be pretty good. Crossing fingers this time. I need you guys crossing fingers too. Last day, gotta make it. She is burning rich too. I do have a jet kit, but it all just comes down to time. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to play with this thing. So I need to turn the exhaust fan on. Hang on. Also want to pull the dipstick and see if I got any milk in there. Nope. No milk. Thing looks good. Okay. I got faith. Feel a lot better today. Went home at 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock. So I feel like I got more sleep. You know what I mean? I think it's that extra hour, or maybe the fact that it's the absolute last day. But honestly, I got everything done, except for the Panhard bar and the pinion. Everything's done. So, you know, last time I filled this up, I vacuum filled it. I could have done that again, but if you don't have one of those tools too, Airlift is the one that I have. I'll tell you what, there is no better way to fill a cooling system than vacuum fill. There will be no air bubbles, guaranteed. But you definitely won't have cavitation problems. But I think what happened to me last night is a blessing in disguise, because that thermostat design, when I questioned it when I put it in there, but then because what it is the opening that's on the front of the intake manifold is just bigger than that brass piece that was on the back of that thermostat. So I mean, you're talking maybe that much gap that the water could go around it to get out. And that's what it has to do, is it has to go around that to get out. It does have those little slots in the back that it'll flow through too, but it's real restricted. Whereas this one you saw, that Edelbrock Performance one, is just real big opening, real big passage that opens up to allow that water to flow. Now you don't want too much water flowing. If you get too much water flowing, the water actually flows so fast that it'll flow right past the radiator, and it won't. Did that open? Not sure if that opened or not. It dropped a little bit. Now it's going back up, back down. My fan's not registering. It's going up and down. I got just under 150 on the gauge. So we're getting close. I feel some air bubbles in there. I know you guys are screaming, "Get away, run!" You know, it's like the sharks in Finding Nemo. Swim away! He got my face right here in the geyser. We're not quite there yet. And believe me, I know what I did last time by revving the motor. Total wrong thing to do. Don't do that. I was just really praying, you know. Sometimes you gotta have faith and you gotta have hope. I was trying to keep hope alive, but hope was dead in that case. So there was no way. It might be cavitating. There's a lot of movement in that upper radiator hose. I'm not going to let it get to where it was yesterday, so we're not going to see a geyser today. If it starts cavitating in any way, I'll shut it off, put the vacuum bleeder on it, and suck the air out. So we're not doing that today. There's the fan. Let me go see what the temperature is. Temperature barely above 150. I've got the fan coming on super early right now because I'm trying to keep it under wraps. So, but even with the fan running, you'll still get, the thermostat will still open. So I just need to keep this thing under control in case something goes south. But I think we'll be all right. Check the fuel leaks. Oh, I'm good on fuel. It might have been the thermostat there. Usually when it opens, it sucks down. So fan went off. That's probably open now. Usually it goes, but that might be all we see on the first one. I'm definitely going to let it cycle a couple times. So I am seeing movement when I squeeze that upper heater hose too, so I know that's got coolant in it, so there's no air in that. Yep. Fan back again. All right. We're doing fine today. Yeah. This is gonna work out okay. It might take a couple cycles to completely get all the air bubbles out of it, but we're way better today than we were yesterday. So we're fine. Power steering's good. took it. Yep. Put a little bit in there. You just want to keep a little bit of fluid in this. That way as it draws it in, it's kind of like bleeding brakes. You want it to be able to keep getting those bubbles out. I'm still seeing bubbles come out. So we had quite a few bubbles even on that last bit. That's why these buckets are kind of helpful. Well, they're kind of important. They're extremely helpful in the way that you can get those bubbles to constantly come out. If you just use a radiator cap or you're just trying to keep filling, you really won't be able to see kind of where you're at in the process. Where this one, you can get a real visualization on how it's opening and closing, how many air bubbles are coming out, how much fluid you're actually using. So these buckets are handy. And I want to say it's like 15, 20 bucks on Amazon. Cheap. Like, you don't got to worry about getting the most expensive one. As you see, this one's got like a little tin cap. It's got connections and fittings for all the different radiator designs. So if you don't have a radiator, you have the newer style with the big twist on cap or something. It's got all of those adapters. And all the adapters go in the top here, and then it's got this nice little lid that clips on it for storage. So again, not sponsored by these guys either, just some of the tools that I really love using. We are good, guys. That is it. It is back alive, running good, got no coolant in the oil. We might make it. I think it was all you guys' fingers crossed that got me here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. I'm gonna let this cycle a few more times. I'm gonna double check everything real well again. And then I'm gonna put the wheels on it, take it out, and get some of this coolant and shit off of there. And then probably do a little run up the street real quick with it. And then at some point I'll bring you guys back in and we'll finish up this video. Hopefully make it to the track tomorrow. All right, guys, I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, it is about 7:30 at night on Thursday. And as you can see, I'm just leaning on the left front tire. But this thing's not bad. It's in pretty good shape. I drove it around a little bit, went and put some gas in it. It runs, it drives. Does it race? If by definition you mean wait at a light, light turns green, and you hit the light and you hit the gas and it goes, yes, it does that. It stumbles a little bit. There's a little gurgle, not stumble, more like, you know, kind of a rough spot right on tip end. It's probably jetted too high. I have a jet kit, but I just don't have time. So I'm probably going to give it a little bit more advanced. Right now, I got it at 9 degrees, I think. I might give it 10 or 11 and see what it does. I do have new spark plugs, but no time. So it runs, it drives. The transmission is definitely not long for this world. That's where the noise is definitely coming from. It's since I did the fluid change, it makes the noise kind of changes now. And definitely when you get into it hard, it especially between 1-2 shift, you can tell it's not happy. It does shift. You can't floor it and then just let it shift. It won't shift. It'll just hang first forever. So you got to pull out and then get into it. So on the drag strip, I'm going to have to manually shift it. If you manually shift it, then it shifts. So I'll just manually shift it. I do have the kick down rod on it. I have the vacuum modulator on it, although I haven't messed with it. I haven't even replaced it. It's the same one that was on the car when I got the car, so there's that. The power steering was acting up a little bit, but I noticed it was over full, so I sucked a little bit of fluid out, got it back down. Basically, you want them right down here at the right here at the top of the cover bottom of this tube. So I got it right there. Seems okay now. I drove it around. Didn't have any issues with it. So hopefully I don't have any issues with that going to Las Vegas, but I don't know. We'll see. So didn't get hot at all. It stayed around 170, I think, which is pretty good. It's got a 160 thermostat in it, so 170 is not bad, although it is nice and cool out. So going across the desert, you know, maybe 80 or 90 degrees, it might climb up in temp. It does have a 4-core in it, so. But it's all cleaned up. So I took the last couple hours and I went ahead and went to plan Z on cleaning it. I had a couple different methods that I was going to try, but I had to just straight go for the nuclear option, which is a green scour pad. What's a stupid, what do you call those? Scotch-Brite. There you go. Man, I'm tired. Scotch-Brite pad, green Scotch-Brite, and Comet. Now, you old guys out there, you know Comet, you know. I know Comet. It's probably not a good thing to go out and wash your grandpa's brand new paint job with Comet. And if you're guessing, yeah, that's what I did when I was a kid. I don't remember it. I was probably pretty young, but I was shooting for, you know, #1 grandson. Although I probably helped it out a bit, you know, cut down some of the orange peel. I was told that my dad went out there and polished out the paint. You know, I don't know. I probably just used Comet. I doubt I used like a Scotch-Brite or anything. Although, you know, in my family, that was car wash soap. You know, you went out to wash the car, you grabbed the Comet, you grabbed the rag, you went out and washed the car. I didn't know any better. You know, that's the kind of cars we had when when I was a kid. They were all Comet cars. So with this one, this thing was in rough shape. You guys saw it. You can still see the inner fender well. It's, you know, or the inside of the fender right there. It's still bad. I got this up here, but yeah, so Comet and a green Scotch-Brite. And I mean, my arm hurts so bad right now. My arm always hurts. Listen, you don't need a gym membership. What you need is a friend that's a car guy. But be warned, you go hang out with your friend that's a car guy, every day is an arm day. So if you don't like arm days, but you know, it's probably a good idea. Hey, you know, if you got a buddy, you know, he's getting ready for an event or something like that, grab him a, you know, case of whatever cold drink he likes and go hang out with him. You know, I'm sure he'd appreciate the help, you know, before the event. So, but be warned, every day is an arm day. But this thing looks a lot better. I'm going to leave it like this. I was thinking about polishing it. And I could, and I will after the event. I'll probably polish it. But it don't look too bad. It looks, it's just, so let me break down the processes here for you. You know, you got your clay bar. You know, that's for your newer car. It's got a little bit of tree debris on it or something. You want a clay bar, get the paint clean. Then you got to come back and wax it, right? That's clay bar. After clay bar, you have your polishing compounds. Oh, you got a little scratch in it. You're going to polish it out. That's your polishing compounds. Then you have I've got a car that's pretty old that nobody really took care of the paint, so I need to clean it up kind of thing, right? So you got a couple options there. You can go with wet sandpaper, real fine wet sandpaper, 2000 grit or something, or you can go with like an SOS pad. That's your next tier. I might be missing a step in there, but I'm just kind of breaking down the main tiers here. Then you got your straight steel wool SOS scrubbing on the paint to get whatever off, right? After that, then you come up to your Comet, just Comet, right? Because that's got a lot of abrasive in it, so Comet in a rag. And then you got your Scotch-Brite and Comet. Now, if you've pulled your Scotch-Brite and Comet out, you are one step away from 500 grit on a DA. So that's the next step up. You know, it's you've went to the very edges, but right before you're like, okay, I just need to sand this car down. After Comet and Scotch-Brite is a DA with sandpaper. So it turned out really nice. It looks great, honestly. Using the nuclear option is faster. You could obtain the same look and finish with just doing like an SOS or triple aught steel wool, maybe even not triple aught. If you do quadruple aught, it's a little bit like SOS is quadruple aught. It's a little fine. Like you can hit the glass and everything with SOS because it won't scratch. But actually, all the stainless, I just went over it real quick. But you can come, I'll go back and polish it up real nice with the SOS, and then hit it with a buffer. But and it'll look like brand new. But those processes, if you come down a step or two, those processes will give you the same results, but they're gonna be slower. You're gonna put in a lot more effort. Now, if you go with the Scotch-Brite and Comet, you got to be careful. You know, I rubbed through quite a few spots. Of course, you know, I don't really care, but you got to be mindful. So what you do, the process on that is get it wet, put a little Comet on it, get your Scotch-Brite wet. Now have a bucket of soapy water, warm, hot soapy water if you can. I had hot soapy water. One, because it's super cold outside and it was nice to dip my hands in there. And then two, the heat helps break up the, you know, all the stuff. Anyways, so you put a little Comet on the paint, get your Scotch-Brite in the hot soapy water, scrub it in, and then just start working it and working it and working it. And what you'll notice is that all that white soap now turns to whatever color the car is. That's that top layers of paint just coming off and coming off and coming off. Rub, 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 and then dip your Scotch-Brite back in the water, rub some more, dip your Scotch-Brite back in the water, rub some more. Basically, you're thinning it down, thinning it down, thinning it down. One, so you can kind of scrub away all of that soapy color, whatever it is. And then two, so you can start thinning down the grit mixture. Spray it off, look at your patch, see how bad it is. See if you need to do any more. Usually what you'll have is blotchiness at that point. Wash that area real well. Then go ahead and just go into the soapy water and then do Scotch-Brite to clean up those last little bits so it doesn't look blotchy. So you're trying to smooth it out so you got one color texture and then that's it. Once you get to that point, you're done. Go to the next panel, next panel, next panel, so on and so forth. And what you end up with is, let me get you over here so you can see. What you end up with is this. Now, of course, you know, I still got my primer because that's never going to go away with Scotch-Brite. But you can see, hood top's a little bit dirty still. But you can see, you might find a little bit of blotchy, especially in the top surfaces, because they take the most abuse from the sun. So the trunk lid's a little blotchy, the top surface here is a little blotchy. I could go over it again, but if you look, this car's been repainted, and if you get real close and you look, you'll cut through, you'll start blowing through that first layer, getting down to that original paint, and then you gotta start dealing with, you know, patina type stuff. I'm not big on patina, but this is pretty leveled out. You can still see some spots where, you know, it's, let me get out of the light, or get out of the, yeah. You can still see some spots where it's dark. But that's not bad right here. It's a little blotchy around that door handle. So, and then this panel, you know, again, I polished that out. So once I polish this out, it'll look like this. And this is kind of dulled down because I have, haven't kept up with it. I'll go through and polish this again. It'll have a nice sheen to it. It'll never look like a brand new car again. That's just not going to happen. But you can get it to look, half decent. And that's what I'll do. I wanted to do it for the show. I'm not going to make it. But honestly, this is not bad. So that's the look right there. It's not bad. All the trim's clean, paint's clean. Doesn't look bad at all. This is what your water's going to look like after you're done. That is not hot chocolate, people. Do not drink that. That is tons of paint. And out in the parking lot right there, there is a gold paint mark the size of a Galaxie on the ground, because all the paint just right to the ground. So after this event, I'm going to have to take a week and just clean this whole entire place. So videos may be scarce for about a week after this event, but I got a lot of video. So I wanted to show you guys what the decals are going to look like. So right now I have the heater running because you cannot put these on cold paint. Paint's still a little bit too cold, but it's warming up. So this is the decal that I went with. So I think that looks pretty cool. It's got masking on top of it because I'm just laying it out. So when you lay it down, it's white backing with that on it. So I think that looks pretty cool. So basically what you want to do when you're doing something like this, pick the side that has an obstacle. So if you're going to mirror something, pick the side that has the obstacle and go with that one first. Reason being is because you want to center and lay this one out the way you want it. And then I can just take a measurement off that door jamb, mirror it on the other side with no obstacle, and it'll look the same on either side. So, but if I were to lay it on that side first and centered it up and made it look all cool and then came over to this side, it would be into that gas door. So always pick the side with the obstacle first and then lay it out and then mirror it on the other side. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do that right now as soon as this panel heats up a little bit more. I got this heater running. That thing's pretty cool. I bet you the electric bill loves that. And then I'm going to do one across the back window right there. So I'm going to do it up high because I don't want to block my vision too much because this is a solid, decal. But so yeah, that's where I'm at. I am going to end this episode here for a couple reasons. One, drama. Is he gonna make it? I don't know. Am I gonna make it? What do you guys think? You leave it in the comments. Leave in the comments if you think I'm gonna make it. Obviously, if you go to the event and you see me or you don't, I didn't or I did. But this is where I'm gonna leave you guys. Did I finish the car? It's probably going on 8 o'clock now. Did I get the car done? Did I make it? What did the car look like after I got it all finished? I don't know. So what I am going to do is tomorrow morning when I come in, whatever state this thing's in, I'm going to start the next video. So either I'm taking you to the event in this car or we're not, and then I'm still working on the car. Either way around, I'm going to start the next video tomorrow. So hopefully it has me at the event, driving to Vegas at the event, driving over to Pomona at the event for the next 3 days. That's my plan. I bought a bunch of GoPro batteries and memory cards and all kinds of stuff. So that's my plan. Let's see if I make it. But I'm definitely not going to make it if I keep sitting here and just talking to you guys. But honestly, this is my break time. My arms hurt so bad. I am so tired. So I'm taking this short little break to, talk to you guys. But leave it in the comments. What do you guys think? You think I made it? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I got to build the whole front end of this car. And then that's it, really. The car's done. So it runs good. It drives pretty good. Good enough. So I'm just not going to tear it up on the track. But, you know, tune in next time, you know. Same bat time, same bat channel, or same bum time, same bum channel. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. And like always, if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. I hope I can bring you guys to the Power Tour. I am trying my very hardest. So please tell a friend, like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I made it? Do you not? But either way around, thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with me. And I'll see you next time. Psych! I'm not going to leave you guys like that. I would never do that. I hate that part 2 stuff. When, you know, you're watching a video and they're like, follow along for part 2. Dude, come on. Just tell me what, you know, the stupid thing happened. So, no. Car's done. 2:23 Friday morning. It's not the best. It's far from the best. This side of the car is hurt pretty bad. I need to do a lot of body work in there to pull that inner fender well. The one that I bought was apparently off another crashed car that somebody had straightened out. So it's the whole thing is it's here. It's solid. It's not going to fall apart. The alignment's not that great, but you know, I mean, yeah, it's, you know, it's all in one piece. So let me give you guys a little tour of the machine. This thing is a gem. I'll tell you what. So front end's all together. I was gonna put another bumper on it, but I'm like, you know, if I keep biting off more than I can chew with this car. So that's it. She's done. I even got the seat cover in it. I need that. So luckily, I live in Southern California, and I only live about 10 minutes from Irwindale. So I'm going to go to this event in the morning, run my car 2 times on the track, hang out for a little bit, and then I'm going to go home and pass out because I'm tired. Hopefully it passes tech. Hopefully, you know, everything goes well. The transmission, I have no idea. That's the back window. I think that turned out pretty good. The whole thing turned out really good. I'm kind of happy with the stickers. They turned out good. So the fitment here is horrible, absolutely horrible. But the door opens and it doesn't rub. So I'm gonna clean the hood and the fender tomorrow morning because I am way too tired. And I'm probably gonna put a set of spark plugs in it in the morning and give it a couple of degrees of timing and, you know, hope for the best. So I like this side. This side's my favorite side. So, all right, guys. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. Truly, you know, each one of you are awesome. I really appreciate all you guys' love and support. You know, this is awesome to be able to do something like this. You know, I'm very grateful. So thank you guys for watching. And like I said before, if you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell 3 friends, you know, help me out. So until next time, guys, I hope to see you out there.